I have with me Dheeraj, who's contesting for the posts of Cultural Affairs Secretary Lit. We'll get started with the first question. Sarang 2022 ended up with something of a negative image in the GSB, the absence of a website, low sponsorship, students criticizing the planned offline events on SMail, the T5E coverage, and rumors of COVID outbreak among Sarang teams in Cork, and the generally poor experience that the organizing teams speak of. How will you correct this image of Sarang such that it does not affect the recruitment for next year?
So majorly I'll divide this into two segments. One is the website issue, which was majorly due to the erasing of the back in the very last minute, which can be solved by being slightly more impromptu and having backup plans ready probably 1 week before Sarang. The idea is to have the website up and running like 1 month prior at least. Coming to the criticism with respect to the COVID outbreak or the rumors of the COVID outbreak, I think it's slightly unfair to pinpoint at the entirety of Sarang team for the COVID outbreak inside the institute, given the fact that COVID did exist before Sarang teams started working in Quark as well. It is a pandemic which can come in from anywhere. But yes, if something on those lines would have happened, then I would definitely would not want everyone to gather at one place. Probably would have had different places for different people to work towards. Coming to offline events, I think the next year we are looking at a good bright future of offline events. So I'll be using Sangam and Litsock as a platform to get cultural spirits back up, which will also help Sarang get its image back.
How do you think the cultural calendar should change with the transition to offline mode, given that people have less time to commit on campus to culturals? Recent events like the cultural crash course, besides being crammed together with Litsock and Samprava at a very busy time, had rather poor participation. What are the changes that you will make for an offline semester to sustain enthusiasm and to ensure that the organizers' efforts are not wasted in planning events?
So, majorly, first thing we need to do is get all the people from the 20 and 21 batch students who felt left out due to the online semester back into the cultural scene, which is where my initiative, Cultural Reimmersion, comes into play. And then I look at Litsock as the pinnacle of institute culture, and it will really help us sustain the enthusiasm throughout if planned in a very good way, which is where my initiative Litsock Gamification and Litsock Renaissance comes into play. So these two combined together will help us plan Litsock in such a way that the major events are planted in a very peak time wherein the cultural enthu is up, and then planning the Sangam events around these peak events, like let's say Queen of Sheba or any of those things, can help us sustain the cultural enthusiasm throughout and not let the organizers' time go waste.
During the pandemic, college fests were few and far between and often virtual. How do you think this has impacted the contingent? What is your plan to build and train a strong cultural contingent, given that most of the old guard has graduated?
So majorly, first thing I would like to do is put up a bid to host inter-IIT cultural in IIT Madras, because that will give the contingent a specific point, a specific goal to work towards, which will really help them get back on track. And coming to how I'm going to support them, my initiative Inter-IIT Cultural Book will give ownership to each club captain to plan out their own schedule, use specific metrics using the previous Inter-IIT judging criteria to give a specific plan, monthly, bi-weekly and weekly goals, so that the contingent can monitor progress throughout the semester. And majorly, my initiative Alumni Reconnect will be looking to get all the culturally relevant alum down to campus so that they can impart fields to the contingent and also guide them in terms of how to win Inter-IIT. So these three initiatives combined together will help us build and train a strong contingent this year.
Don't you think that Litsock credits unnecessarily complicates the entire system, especially considering that Litsock enthusiasm is already rather low in the GSP?
So the current Litsock system only incentivizes people to win and does not incentivize people to participate, which is why I've come up with the Litsock gamification, wherein I'm giving specific credits to people even if they participate. If they hit the upper cap on the number of people that are required in a specific event, they get some credits. If they participate in an event, they get credits. So there are multiple ways to get credits with the primary goal of incentivizing participation, right? So how do they use these credits? It is to gain specific power-ups, like let's say there is an event where there is a prelims and finals. So they can use these credits to directly get into finals. So this adds that little bit of uncertainty where people have to sustain till the very end to know who's going to win. And it is also giving people smaller goals to work towards, because I'm dividing the entire standings into gold, silver and bronze leagues. So people even in the mid-level in the Litsock standings have smaller goals to work towards so that they can sustain till the very end. So these are the major reasons why I've put this point under my manifesto, and I don't think it complicates it. Yeah.
Question. Do you think a student event like prom should be so exclusive and expensive that couples with money will come, that too, only couples with money will come, that too with an accommodation capacity constraint? Why, in your opinion, would a GSP member with money and a partner come to SAC to watch the music contingent perform?
So I'd like to divide this my answer into the following three buckets. One will be the what exactly Sarang is. The second will be the pricing issue, and the third will be the audience issue. So with respect to what exactly Sarang is, I look at Sarang as an experience, right? It is adding different experiences to your life, which is where Sarang Prom comes into. So we are tapping onto a new market and giving them an evening of food, fun and frolic, primarily giving them a new experience. Coming to the pricing issue, a similar event happens in Bits Goa, which is priced at 1100 per couple. So I don't think the pricing is an issue here. We are comparatively at a lower rate than them. Coming to the last segment about the audience is not limited to the institute as well. We'll be publicizing this in ambulance, and we'll be potentially getting people from across Chennai, potentially from outside as well, in case we are doing it in a very good way. So I think that answers the question.
Thank you, Dheeraj.
Yes.
Good luck.
Thank you.